All right, so today what we're going to do is try our first Google Classroom science assignment. And in order to do that, you are going to want to read Looking Through Telescopes. So listen to this read aloud and look at the pictures. Look for bolded words for new vocabulary. And then at the end of our quick reading session, you will see that we have a short quiz. It's called Thinking About Telescopes. It's found on page 24, and there are 3 questions. And I have created a Google form quiz for you to complete. So we're going to try this out. Here we go. First, the read aloud. Looking through telescopes, what do you see when you look at the sky on a clear night? You probably see many twinkling stars. Maybe you see the moon or a planet. People saw the same objects in the sky thousands of years ago. The way we look at objects in the sky changed in 1608. In that year, the telescope was invented. A telescope is a tool that magnifies distant objects so that they appear larger and closer. Galileo Galilei, or Galilee, was born in 1564 and died in 1642. He was a scientist who lived in Italy. In 1609, he improved the telescope and used it to observe the night sky. He could see many more stars through the telescope than with his unaided eye. He could see mountains and craters on the moon. And he could see that the planets were spheres, not just points of light. Then Galileo turned his telescope toward Jupiter. He became the first person to observe moons orbiting another planet. Here is Galileo's telescope. You can see more stars through a telescope than with your unaided eyes. Next page, page 20. As telescopes got more powerful, astronomers could see more details on planets. They could see more stars in the night sky. By the mid-1900s, the surface of the moon could be studied in detail with telescopes on Earth. Scientists used pictures taken through telescopes to plan the first moon landing in 1969. This is the Apollo 11 landing site on the moon. Modern telescopes. Most telescopes are built on mountain peaks. The telescopes are above most of the dust and pollution in the air, and they are far away from city lights. The telescopes are protected inside of a dome-shaped building called observatories. Here is an example. Keck Observatory on top of Mauna Kea, a 4,205-meter peak on the island of Hawaii. The space shuttle placed a very important telescope in the Earth's orbit in 1990. It is called the Hubble Space Telescope. The Hubble Space Telescope takes pictures of planets and other objects in the solar system. It also takes pictures of objects beyond the solar system. Because the telescope orbits above Earth's atmosphere, it gets clear view of outer space. And here is the Hubble Space Telescope. Started its orbit around Earth in 1990. And here's a picture of Mars seen from the Hubble Space Telescope. Continuing on page 22. When you look up at the sky on a clear moonless night, you can see about 2,000 stars. But that view changes a lot when you look through the Hubble Space Telescope. You can see millions of stars that are too dim to see with your unaided eyes. Telescopes make distant objects look bigger and closer. With telescopes, astronomers can explore space without leaving Earth. And here is part of the Milky Way seen with the unaided eyes on a clear night. And this is part of the Milky Way seen through the Hubble Space Telescope. If you don't know what the Milky Way is, that is the galaxy in which our solar system is located. Moving on, page 23. On April 24th, 2015, Hubble was 25 years old. For 25 years, it had provided information about the structure and organization of the universe. Hubble looked into the most distant parts of our galaxy to observe the birth of stars. Here is a picture. The Westerlund II cluster, a collection of about 3,000 newly formed stars. And that was a picture taken by our Hubble Space Telescope. The last page, page 24, Hubble has also allowed astronomers to determine the size and age of the universe. By looking between the stars in the sky, Hubble observed objects in deep, deep space. Hubble observed that in every direction in the sky, the deep field of view is filled with millions of other galaxies. Each galaxy is made up of 1 billion stars. Measurements made by Hubble show that the galaxies are all moving away from one another. This is evidence that the universe is expanding at a rapid rate. These observations allowed astronomers to figure out the universe is between 13 and 14 billion years old. Here is each point of light in this image is a galaxy, which is composed of billions of stars. Here are your response questions that you are going to do in Google form. They are called Thinking About Telescopes. Number 1, who was Galileo and what was he first to do? Number 2, why is a telescope a useful tool to an astronomer? And number 3, why are modern telescopes built on mountain tops or put into space? And now I'm going to take you over to my computer screen, hopefully so you can see how to access your quiz. When you open up your Google Chrome, make sure you are in Google Chrome. This is what it looks like. You are going to be taken to your main Google page. There, you will click on your Google Classroom, or you can type in classroom.google.com. You can click on Science for your homeroom, either 5A, Miss Butts Johnson, or if you're in 5B, it will be your 5B class, and you'll click on Science. Once you get to our main stream, you'll then go up to the top tab where it says Classwork. Once you are here in Classwork, you are going to see a new tab called Digital Classwork. And there is where you will find this Google form with 3 questions where you will be typing in your answers. It looks like this. Looking through a telescope, read aloud. Page 19 to 24, Foss, grade 5 science, Thinking About Telescopes. And it has 3 questions for you, just like the book, with an extra photo. Here is where you will click on long answer text, where you will type your answer in using complete sentences. Same for number 2 and for number 3. Once you have typed in each response, you will then have to click Submit. That will send it straight to my computer and I will be able to grade it. Good luck on your first science digital assignment.